So for any number of you that have been on my channel for a while or been around, you guys know I am obsessed with beauty blenders, and I have been on the hunt to find a beauty blender dupe, and I think I have finally found it. So if you want to see what the beauty blender dupe that I've discovered and how it performs and a review and demo on it, then keep on watching. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Bettina and I'm the makeup enthusiast. If you are new around here, I typically upload videos every Monday and Friday, and I do a lot of reviews on Australian made and owned beauty products. So without further ado, let's get into the video and let's talk about this amazing beauty blender dupe that I have found. So quick rundown of the beauty blender. So the beauty blender in Australia can only be purchased through Sephora Australia. This little guy right here retails for $30 Australian through Sephora, which is a bucket load of money to be spending on beauty sponges every year, considering they say you're supposed to switch these out like every 3 months, the same as your mascara, and that works out to like $120 a year just on sponges, which in my eyes is way too much, which is why I've been on the hunt to find a beauty blender dupe. And this little guy right here is the Ela Cosmetics Beauty Sponge. Now the Ela Cosmetics Beauty Sponge you can purchase in a duo pack for $30 Australian. So you are getting two for the price of one that you spend on beauty blenders. It comes in this beautiful glorious mint color or a pink color. So the choice of colors is limited compared to beauty blenders, but in my opinion, when it comes to colors and sponges, it doesn't really matter in my eyes. Like if you could only get this in white, I would still probably buy it. So this sponge is the typical egg shape. These are both wet at the moment, so it does work out to be a little bit bigger than the beauty blender, but it does have this slice basically out of the side of it, so it does have this flat side compared to the beauty blender, which is like a full rounded egg shape that comes to a point. I find the point between the two, the Ela Cosmetics Beauty Sponge is a lot more pointy on the tip. It does come to a firm point, whereas the beauty blender is more of like a rounded point. The flat side, you can use any side of this sponge, but I find the flat side is really good for getting right up under your eye to blend out your concealer. You can still use the tip of the beauty blender obviously, but it just doesn't come to as nice of a point. They have like a different softness between them. The Ela Cosmetics is more like a light airy soft, whereas the beauty blender is a bit more textured, like it's a bit more of a coarser softness. I hope that makes sense. The pores on the Ela Cosmetics Beauty Sponge don't seem to be as prominent as the beauty blender, and I feel between the two, the Ela Cosmetics Beauty Sponge is the one that absorbs the least amount of product. So if you're wanting to save money on top of wanting to save products, the Ela Cosmetics Sponge is going to do wonders for you. I will jump to a demo where I've done half of my foundation base products with the Ela Cosmetics Sponge and the beauty blender sponge on the other side, and I will come back to you with my final thoughts after the demo. I'm going to use the Ela Cosmetics Beauty Sponge on my left side and the beauty blender on my right side. So then taking my Hourglass skin base to just kind of prime my under eye area. So starting with the Ela Cosmetics Beauty Sponge. Whoa, that's a lot. So because this sponge has a flat side, you can kind of pinch it and it gets right in, like right in that corner there, because you've pinched it. Kind of makes it even more pointy in that corner there. And then with the beauty blender, the beauty blender appears to kind of absorb more product than the Ela Cosmetics sponge. Going in with my Maybelline Fit Me concealer, I'll start with the beauty blender side. So as you would normally know, the beauty blender obviously has a point, but when I like pinch it, it just doesn't seem to be as pointy or as like flat as the Ela sponge. And then with the Ela sponge to blend that out, and the Ela sponge is so soft. like compared to the Beauty Blender, which like I love beauty blenders. You guys know I have been hunting for a dupe forever for the Beauty Blender. This one, like compared to this, this feels really coarse compared to the Beauty Sponge from Ela Cosmetics. And then going in with the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous. This is a fresh tube, and I'll just pop some on the bottom of the Beauty Blender, and I'll just do half and half, and we'll see how we go. Now I picked this foundation because this is one of my favorite foundations, so I know like what it normally looks like on my skin. Beauty Blender side done, head now onto my Ela sponge. I'm going to use the bottom of the sponge to start off with, but I might end up flipping around to the flat side. Oh, that was a little bit too much foundation. Blend some down my neck. I'm just flipping over to that flat side now. Just blending in the foundation with the concealer. And now the beauty with this one, because it is so pointed, is you can actually, I always get foundation build up like around, just around here on my nose, and just in the corner here there's always like a patch missing, so this bit like right here. So because there's that point, you can actually get in there, whereas the Beauty Blender, it's like a rounded point. Sometimes Beauty Blenders are really good with the point, sometimes they can be rounded like this one, whereas this is really quite pointed. So that is the Ela Cosmetics side and the Beauty Blender side, and I know you're probably not going to be able to tell a difference, but I actually feel like there is a difference. I feel like especially in this area here and here, I feel like there's a little bit more coverage just in this area right here. That could be a combination of the products that I've used, but definitely on my nose here, it doesn't seem to be blending foundation onto that area, as opposed to here it is a little bit more foundation. I do feel like the Beauty Blender does pick up more of the product. That is the demo of these two little guys. I'm going to finish up my makeup and come back and give you my final thoughts. So there you have it. I showed you how these both applied and up close and applications with it. I feel out of both of them, this is very similar to what happened with the last Beauty Blender dupe comparison that I did. But compared to that one and this one, the Ela Cosmetics sponge and the Beauty Blender sponge have a lot similar texture between the two of them. This one is really nice, light and fluffy, as opposed to the last Beauty Blender dupe that I found. It was really firm and stiff. This is the closest sponge that I have found to the texture of the Beauty Blender sponge, that nice, light, airy texture that the Beauty Blender is so well known for. So all in all, do I think this is worth it? I think this is a fantastic sponge. I love how it's got the scallop out of it. It really helps you get in around the corners. It's really helpful to get in around the nose. I tend to get a lot of build up around my nose, around the outside of my nose when I'm applying my concealer and my foundation, and this with the point, it can get right in around there. It also can help you get this little area in here. I tend to find with my Beauty Blenders, it doesn't get in this area here nicely. This can get in that section right there perfectly. So do I think this sponge is worth it? I think absolutely. You can get two of these sponges for the price of one of these sponges, and I think I will well and truly be making the switch. I am so happy I had the chance to try this sponge from Ela Cosmetics. Ela Cosmetics do have a few codes floating around, and they do also have sales every now and then. So if you're wanting to get this one for even cheaper, I know, even cheaper, you can wait till the sales, or you can have a bit of a hunt around for like permanent codes that are out there, because there are a few. I think the Beauty News girls have a permanent code with Ela Cosmetics, so if I can find that, I will leave it linked down in the description box below. Otherwise, I suggest just doing a quick Google to see if you can find any codes. They might have some on their Instagram page. but I will do the best for you and see if I can find a code for you. But if you can get these on sale, obviously I recommend you getting them on sale, but they are still a great deal even if you don't get them on sale. And Ela Cosmetics do sell brushes as well, and they do also do free shipping over $50. So you can obviously get 2 packs of the sponges for that price. You can split it with a friend, or you can stock up once a year for your sponges. It's up to you how you do it. They are currently only shipping to Australia, New Zealand and the United States, but I do assume that they plan on expanding that. So if they don't offer shipping to the country that you live in, I suggest sending an email or sending them a DM or a message on Instagram, just letting them know that you're very interested in the sponge, and if they obviously get enough interest in the sponge or any of the other brush products in the country that you live in, obviously that's going to speed up them looking into shipping to your country. So that is my super short mini review of the Ela Cosmetics Beauty Sponge. Let me know down in the comments box if you have already tried the Ela Cosmetics sponge, what are your thoughts on it, or if you are planning on picking it up. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you like Australian dupe videos. Also, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below so you can keep up to date on all my Aussie made and owned beauty reviews, as well as any other content that comes out throughout the year. That's it for this video, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!